In this video, I'll be working through the question you see on the screen here from the summer 2025 Cambridge A-Level Maths paper 1-1. I'm going to try and show you how to do this question and not just the solution. So definitely pause and rewatch certain parts as much as you need to. If you are looking for a different question from this paper or a different paper entirely, you should be able to find a playlist in the description below or have a look around on my channel. Okay, let's get into the maths. In question 3, they tell us about a geometric progression and they give us two clues about it. The first one is that the third term is 18 and that the first 3 terms all add up to 26. They want us to use, and another clue, that the common ratio is negative. They want us to use those clues to find the 10th term in the progression. Now, most times, the best way to do these questions are just to find the first term and the common ratio, and then you can find every term. So don't worry about the fact that it's the 10th term. We'll just worry about finding the first term and the ratio. Now, we have a couple of formulas for geometrics, sequence and series. First one is that the nth term is equal to a times or n minus 1. And then the sum of the first n terms, let me look this one up, I'm always forgetting this, is a multiplied by 1 minus or to the power of n, so that's an n, over 1 minus or, over 1 minus or. So these are the two main equations we know about geometric progressions. Now what's interesting about this question is, it was very easy to go down a wrong path that looks right. That happened to me trying to solve this, and I'm going to show you that wrong path I went down, and then I'll finally show you the correct path. What I first thought to do, and I think it is probably the right idea most times, and it does work this time, but it's just, it makes it more difficult than it needs to be. So what I would have done, and what I tried to do, is I put down the first term, the third term, T3, and I put it equal to this, a times or 3 minus 1 is 2. And that is equal, we know that's equal to 18. And I use this as one of my clues. My next clue is S3. S3 is equal to a times 1 minus or to the power of 3 divided by 1 minus or. And I know that's equal to 26. This is 2 equations with 2 unknowns, a and or, a and or. So in theory we should be able to solve that. Remember, this is probably not the best path to go down. So let me do this quite quickly. I'm going to rearrange both of these so it's a equals. The first one will become a is equal to 18 divided by or squared. Then this one here will become a is equal 26 and stay where it is, multiplied by 1 minus or divided by 1 minus or cubed. These equal each other. So with this term equals this term, let's multiply both sides by this bottom row and this bottom row. So we'd get 18, sorry if I'm going fast, but again, this is the wrong path to take. 18 multiplied by 1 minus or cubed is equal 26 times 1 minus or times or squared. We can multiply all this out, we'll get 18 minus 18 or cubed is equal 26 or squared minus 26 or cubed. The or cubes go together, everything over the left, let's say. We'll get 8 or cubed minus 26 or squared plus 18 equals 0. This is all correct so far, and you can solve from here. We're left with one equation, one unknown. It looks a little like a quadratic, but it's not. It's a cubic equation. They're a lot more difficult to solve. You have to just find the solution to one of them. Just find any solution. In this case, there is an easy enough solution. 1, if you fit 1 in, it does work. And then knowing that or possible answer for or is or equals 1, we can know or minus 1 is a factor. Use that factor to then get the other roots or the other factors to this and solve from there. That's not easy to do. This was the wrong path to take. It was a very understandable path, but it was the wrong path to take. Now let me clear most of this off and we'll start this again and I'll show you the correct path to take. If you are finding my videos useful and would like to help the channel out, on top of liking and subscribing, probably the best thing you could do is to tell other people doing the exam about my channel. Maybe you could share this video in a class WhatsApp group. Then if you feel I've really deserved it and you would like to buy me a coffee, you could become a member on YouTube or on Patreon. You should find links to that in the description below. Now just to clarify, that was still a correct path to take. It wasn't a bad way to do it. There's just happens to be a lot easier, neater way to do it, and it's the way they probably intended you to. The third term is 18 and the sum of the first three terms is 26. What they probably wanted you to do was just write out the first three terms. A plus A or, that's the second term, plus A or squared. And the fact that they all added together is equal 26. And just like previously, we still know the third term, A or squared, is equal 18. This time, this is our two clues we're going to put together to get the answer. Oh, I should note, there's also another wrong path you could take here. You could have attempted, instead of writing this term, you could have put 18 here. The problem with that is you've combined these two equations and we still would have two unknowns, A and A or. So that would be the wrong path straight away. Now we combine this just like we did previous. I'll rewrite this one here as A multiplied by 1 plus or squared is equal to 26. So we can rewrite that as A is equal 26 over 1 plus or squared. And just like previously, this one could be rewrote as A is equal 18 over or squared. We're going to put these two together. Let me write them out first actually. 18 over or squared is equal 26 over 1 plus or squared. Now what's much better about this way than previous? What's better is when we cross multiply here, we're only going to get or squared. Last time we ended up with or cubed and that's what caused us a little bit of difficulty. So let's go ahead and cross multiply. 18 times this is 18 plus 18 or plus 18 or squared. Or squared by that is 26 or squared. Let's get everything the same side with a positive or squared. So that's 8 or squared minus 18 or minus 18 equals 0. We've got ourselves down to a quadratic. Now everything divides by 2, so let's get that down again. 4 or squared minus 9 or minus 9 is equal 0. We can go ahead and factorize this. It does work out quite evenly, but if you are not good at factorizing, feel free to use the minus b formula. Go ahead and do that. But this two numbers to make 9 could be 9 and 1 or 3 and 3. Could be 2 and 2 or 4 and 1. I've actually forgotten which it is. Let's see, 4 times 3 would get 12 and then 1 times 3 would get 3. 3 and 12 does go together to get 9. So that's it. 4 or and 3 and 3. Let's see, we want minus 12 plus 3. So that'd be minus 12 plus 3. Our two answers here would be or is equal minus 3 over 4 and or is equal to 3. Now I just want to point out, if you had have completed that cubic equation I got earlier, we would have got these same two answers, but we would have also got or is equal to 1 as another answer. But ultimately they told us that the or was negative. So these two answers, this one would only appear if you had have got that cubic, solved that cubic equation. But this is not the answer we want. This is not the answer. This is the answer they want for part A. I just realized that's not the answer to part A. They wanted the 10th term. This is simply what or is. We still need to get what A is. A is either of these. This is 18 divided by or squared. Minus by minus is a plus. 3 by 3 is 9. And 4 by 4 is 16. That's the same as 18 times 16 over 9. 9 goes into 18 2 times. This is 32. A is 32. So the 10th term, T10 is equal to, let's see, A, which is 32, times R, which is minus 3 over 4, to the power of 10 minus 1. That's 9. You can go ahead and put all of that into a calculator, and we get 2.4, or sorry, minus 2.40. Now, it might surprise you to see a minus there, so you might want to double check where that came from. The ratio was a minus. So the first term was 32. The second term is 32 divided by 4, which is 8, multiplied by 3 is 24, but a minus. So it's actually minus 24. The next term we know is 18, and instead of going on like this, we're going to get minus a plus, and that's how we end up with a minus term. Actually, all the even ones, the second, the fourth, and in fact the 10th term will all be minus. Okay, let me clear the board off and we'll do part B. In part B, they ask us to find the sum of infinity of the whole progression. So we have a formula for that. The sum to infinity is equal A divided by 1 minus R, or you can actually get that from this quite easily. The sum to infinity only works when R is less than 1, or the absolute value of R is less than 1. So if you think of something to the power of infinity, or it multiplies by itself so much, anything less than 1 multiplying by itself is going to get smaller and smaller. Ultimately that will end up at 0. So just A times 1 is A, 1 over R on the bottom row. Okay, so we just fill these numbers in. This is equal to 32 divided by 1 minus 3 over 4. That bottom row becomes 1 plus 3 over 4. Let's do it all there. That becomes 1 is just 4 over 4 plus 3 over 4. That's 32, 7 over 4, or 4 over 7 multiplied by. That doesn't go in evenly, so that just becomes 128 divided by 7, and that's they wanted an exact answer. So that's our exact answer for the sum of infinity of this progression. And that's it for question 3. If you have any follow-up questions for me, please let me know in the comments. I'll do my best to get back to you. Thanks for watching and have a great day.